The morning sun baked the red earth, and the desert wind carried the smell of sage and dust across the Carrillo ranch. John Carrillo had been up before dawn, tending the cattle by instinct as much as duty. His father's voice still lived in his head, "Keep your fences tight. Keep your word tighter." By noon, his horse caught sight of movement near the dry creek bed, a flash of red cloth against pale stone. John drew his rifle before he even thought about it. The Apaches had been raiding stock for weeks, and the county boys were angry. But when he rode closer, it wasn't a raider. It was a girl, maybe 16, maybe younger. Her hands were bound with coarse hemp, wrists rubbed raw. She looked up, dark eyes wide but unafraid. "Please," she said, voice hoarse. "I am begging you, untie it." John froze. His father's words came back again. "You don't bring Apache trouble to this ranch." He looked at her. The way her breath shook, the sun cutting across her face, and something in his chest twisted. Still, his hand didn't move. The rope stayed tight. Not until she whispered, almost to herself, "They left me for the spirits. But I am not dead yet." That's when John dismounted, and broke his father's rule for the first time in his life. He brought her to the barn, hidden from the ranch hands. He didn't know her name, so he called her Morning Dove, though she corrected him, quietly, Nada. He couldn't say it right. She smiled anyway. Days passed. She healed. She helped. She said little, but each evening, when the sky bled orange, she would stand at the edge of the corral and stare east, toward the mesas. John began to wonder what he'd done. His brother, Tom, found out first. "You're keeping an Apache girl here. After what they did to our cattle." "She's just a kid," John said. Tom spat in the dust. "Ain't no such thing as just an Apache." Word spread faster than wildfire. Before the week was done, the sheriff rode up with 3 men and a rope of his own. "You can hand her over, John," the sheriff said, "or we'll take her." John looked at Nada, who stood silent behind him. Her face was calm, but her eyes said she'd seen this before. He'd been raised to follow the law, to respect it, to protect his land, his kin, his word. But that day, he broke tradition again. He turned his rifle sideways, between her and them. "Nobody's taking her," he said. They came that night. 5 men, torches, guns, and a thirst for order. John had hidden Nada in the old root cellar, under sacks of grain. He told her to stay quiet, no matter what she heard. When the first shot split the night, she didn't listen. She climbed out into the firelight, her hands shaking but her eyes steady. She called out something in Apache, words John didn't understand but felt deep in his bones. The men hesitated. Then thunder cracked across the mesa, a real storm rolling in. Rain hit hard and sudden, soaking the torches, turning dust to mud. In that chaos, John and Nada ran for the canyon. Behind them, lightning lit the night like judgment. By dawn, they were miles from the ranch. The rain had washed away their tracks. They reached the high cliffs overlooking the valley, and Nada stopped. She turned to him. "You broke your word for me," she said. "Now you are free of theirs." He didn't understand until later, when he looked back at the ranch, smoke still rising, everything he'd built gone. But Nada smiled, wind in her hair. "You will build again," she said. This time, without the rope. And for the first time, John Carrillo believed her.